Each enemy is more powerful than before. Only with true mastery of the Tenno arsenal will you succeed.
Tower online.
This channel does two major things. One, it exposes female nature, and two, it teaches philosophy. But on the subject of female nature, we are always told that women are the more caring sex. That is the reason why when you go to family court, she gets the kids and the guy doesn't. The woman is always assumed to be the innocent one, and the man is always assumed to be the guilty one. Well, the reason we talk about female nature and the reason MGTOW exists is because there's been a deficit in the market, a void, because all of our lives we have been told about how terrible men are and what awful things men do, but we very rarely get told, or we very rarely used to get told, all the awful things that women can do. And there's a danger to that. One, there's a danger of, on the women's side, it's really dangerous to not know what awful men do. And it's dangerous for men to not know what awful men do. But to cut out half of the equation is dangerous too, because we should also know what terrible women do. And on the subject of family court and women being the more caring sex, every so often I like to bring up that women are perfectly fine and perfectly okay with abusing children. Now, a major theme in my last video was abortion. Abortion is perfectly fine and perfectly legal because it allows you to commit violence against a child without seeing it. There's a reason it's considered abortion when the child is in the womb, and it's considered murder when the child is out of the womb. It's because when the child is in the womb, you can't see him or her. When he or she is out of the womb, you can, so there's a little bit more of a actual connection to the person there. The more you are connected to a person, the harder it is to commit violence against that person. The more you are disconnected from a person, the more you distance yourself from that person, the easier it is to harm them. Now, there are multiple ways to abort a child. Like if the child is young enough, you can just take a pill and that takes care of it. But if your child has grown old enough and you go to a doctor, the experience is quite horrific. They take a vacuum and they suck the child out limb by limb, tearing his arms off, tearing his head apart, ripping his torso in half. Probably a fairly traumatic experience. But again, someone else is doing it, you're really distanced from it, you can't see it, so it's perfectly fine. And it's perfectly fine to the tune of 45 million deaths since the onset of abortion, and to the tune of 600,000 deaths back in 2015, which is the most recent data I can find. And one of women's favorite pastimes is to rename everything so that you don't get anywhere near the truth of the situation. This is why when you have a person who is overweight, you might call them plus size, curvy, or curvaceous, or larger bodied person instead of fat. Because when you call them fat, you put them in the truth of the situation, which is it's not a genetic problem, it's not a thyroid problem, it's a you're eating too much food problem, and you're the reason that you are overweight, not just luck. And that same misdirection and that same changing of words is done with abortion. Because every time abortion is brought up, they always want you to think that women are getting abortions because of rape, because of incest, or because of physical health problems. They want you to believe that is a very large percentage of the reason that women get abortions. Well, let's look at these statistics. We have a 2004 study that studied 957 women for reasons for abortion. We have 0.05% as a victim of rape, not even 1%. 3% fetal health problems, 4% physical health problems. You add that up, and that's somewhere between 7 and 8% based on whatever that victim of rape number is. Which means over 90% of women have abortions out of convenience, according to the 2004 study. But 2004 is a little long ago, and 957 women is a little bit small. But we have a better study. We've got a bigger one, because in Florida, they record the reason for every single abortion. Let's look at their 2018 study. They've got 70,000 abortions in Florida. 0.01. Pregnancy resulted from an incestuous relationship. 0.14. Woman was raped. 0.27%. Women's life was endangered by the pregnancy. 1%. A serious fetal abnormality. 1.48%. The woman's physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. 1.67%. Psychological health was threatened by the pregnancy.